What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I know it's been a minute since I've done a good video, hoping to get you guys some good content today. This is kind of going to be like a little update video, but I am going to do some work in it. Kind of want to give you guys an update on the truck and what's going on with it. My son's new S13 we just picked up. We got to do some work to it. We've been doing some work to it. I've been kind of letting him do some work and kind of teaching him and not doing it for him, so that way he learns. But the work we got to do to it, it has nothing to do with the guy selling us a bad vehicle or anything like that. He told us that some of the problems up front. The only thing that does kind of suck is, I would say the day we got it, I would say that next day the starter went out. So we're still waiting for a starter to show up so we can swap that out and do some test drives in it. But while it's sitting, you know, we're just fixing up the wiring and stuff like that we saw issues with. So, but I will kind of show you guys more in detail once I get to that. But I do got some updates. Woo! So my homie James, it's been a minute since we've, you know, I featured his Accord on the channel, but he, you know, finally getting some parts in. You know, he had some personal things going on to where he couldn't dump money into his car, and now he's back at it. So he just got a new turbo manifold, and he sent me pictures, and oh, it looks very, very nice. So, but I'm gonna try to go over his house this morning, get some breakfast first, then go over there and, you know, and kind of film kind of where we're at and update you guys on his stuff. What else? Oh, the Civic hatch, it's on hibernation mode. It's going to be sitting on a trickle charger probably for the next 4 or 5 months. That's just our winter car. We play with a lot, take it to the track. It doesn't have AC and all that kind of stuff. You know, it doesn't overheat anything. You can drive it in the summer, but it's just, you know, to me, I don't want to change the tune just to adjust it for the fact that it's you know, it's hot and it's used to cooler weather. But I think other than that, that's it. So let's get off on this adventure. Alrighty, it is time to get on our adventure. About to head over to my buddy's house, and we're going to take a look at his stuff and kind of go from there. So let's do it. All right, so I just pulled up to the homie's house. So I'm gonna kind of go over his car for you guys real quick. What I did notice that I totally forgot that he told me about, because I haven't been over here to see it in person, is his neighbor gave his son I'm not sure what the year is, but we call it an EK Civic. I think it's a coupe. So I'm gonna take a look at that too while we're here, and we'll see what's up with it. But yeah, I'm here, and let's get at it. Bam! He didn't want to be on camera, so I ain't gonna mess with him too much. But we've been kind of sitting here discussing everything a little bit. My buddy got all his parts and everything out. We kind of tested the intercooler to kind of see where we're gonna go with that. The next thing we were discussing on is throttle body size. What else? Fuel size, and then he wants to keep AC and power steering, which shouldn't be a big deal for me, especially since I'm a, you know, heating and air conditioning technician. But I was kind of looking at where we would have to do that part, and that's where the existing lines went through before, and then we just make some custom lines to go up to the condenser into the front. But we kind of got a game plan. I am going to show the parts that he has here, and then I'll put a picture of the turbo manifold since it's not here. But yes, be prepared. You're gonna start seeing a lot more footage on this thing again. And then I am going to go to the backyard. I'm gonna see if I can get Hayden to give me a little tour of his new car. So here is Hayden's new toy that he got. You know, he'll have 3 years to work on it before he can drive it, because he's only 13. But pretty nice. Got a little EK the neighbor gave to him. I was told us, was this a 97? So I think it has head gasket problems. So simple, easy stuff to fix. You know, maybe we'll turbo this one too. You know, the little single cam turbo. But Yeah, let's see if this is a VTEC or not. I don't know. Oh, it is VTEC. So it's a single cam VTEC, so it must be an EX. I see this solenoid in the back. So yeah, I'm excited about this one. I'm not sure of all my Honda days have I built one of these. So, but yeah, interior is pretty clean. Oh, it has a sunroof. So yeah, definitely an EX. That's what it looks like on the inside. 10 miles on it. Ooh, 236. We might be doing some rings and some bearings too. Let's see what the back looks like. Oh yeah, interior is pretty clean. So yeah, he got a nice little come up. He just has to help the neighbor do a little work or something, I was told. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look into all my old parts I have in the attic, see if I have everything that'll work for this thing. Yeah, gotta get my little nephew right since he getting into the Honda game. All right, so back to this thing. So, like I said, we were discussing putting the intercooler right in, obviously in the front, and then we're gonna probably have to cut this open just a little bit more to get the piping to go through. So the ends of the intercooler are 2.5. So we'll fab that up. What I'm gonna do is do 3-inch piping off of the throttle body down to the intercooler, then we'll reduce it down to 2.5. We're looking at how to get the radiator going. So from here, looks like we have to come down a little bit underneath the throttle body, then come back up to hit the other spout on the radiator. And heater core lines seem pretty simple. This thing does have power steering, so we are going to try to keep the power steering. And from what he told me, he went to a smaller pulley to clear the hood, which is a skunk 2. I don't know, does that say skunk 2?
No.
Oh, it looks, it's
from Europe.
Oh. So they copied the skunk 2 kind of lettering a little bit, but it changed this nipple a little bit, and I guess the pressure line that goes onto the power steering pump. But all in all, we will be back on this here soon. And then here's some of his parts. So he does have the turbo here. This is the same turbo that I have on the truck, a 6262 VS Racing. He has their blow-off valve. And then this looks like, what is this, a fuel line kit or oil line kit?
Oil line kit.
Oil line kit for it. And then, oh, the intercooler is right there. So both ends in and out on the same side. It will clear, it's gonna be tight, but it will clear. What else does he have over here? What's this thing? Double-headed cutter?
That's the one I do my fuel pump. I don't have to drop my tank.
Oh, okay.
Use that, cut it open.
Yeah, yeah, these things suck. That's the thing I like about the EGs and the Integras is that you can get to the fuel pump from the top. This one, you gotta drop the tank or cut a hole in there, and he decided to cut a hole. Let's see what the inside looks like since the door's open. Look like it's missing stuff.
Yeah, but it gained a shifter.
But it gained a shifter. So the shifter and everything's hooked up?
Yep.
Okay. And this one has what tranny again?
A cord transmission.
A cord transmission, so a 5-speed Accord transmission. And then you'll be on K-Pro, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You already got the K-Pro stuff?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I have to learn that software again. Been a minute on that one for me. But I told him I'm going to just get him where he can drive it. He's going to have to take and get it tuned. I'm out of that stuff. Let's see what else is over here. I think that's pretty much it, ain't it? Yeah. Did you ever get the wastegate?
No, it comes with my manifold.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I sent it to him.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the update on the Accord. So I think I'm about to get out of here. I got some paperwork and stuff to do for work. And then I will update you guys on the S13 next. All right, so I'm back at the house. Now it's part 2 of let's talk about the S13 Silvia. I'm gonna let my son do all the talking, so he's mic'd up just like I am. So I got these DJI mics. I want to kind of test them out. I never used both of them, so I'm kind of curious how it is to use both of them. So we're about to see. All right, you on?
What's up, mother lovers? 6-speed demon here, and today we're working on this SR20 S13 thing. And right now I'm just what's it called? Just cleaning up the wiring. I have to basically wrap up the sheaving or sheave it up, and then just run it clean, zip tie it so it's out of the way, and then what we got done, I had to do this because the dude that owned it before didn't my bad, he didn't put the turn signals, he didn't wire them up. I don't know why. They were wired up in the back but not the front, and then it's just a bunch of crap. But I finally got them wired up. I used the wires that were ground wires that were for some reason ran under the dash, used those as just the power 12 volts, and then just found which ones are power the turn signals. But yeah, now I'm just cleaning it up. And then I thought the starter went bad, but then my dad saw that the connections were loose on the battery, so we tightened it back up, and now it starts back up, and yeah, now we just have to get it tuned basically, hopefully. But yeah, I'm just cleaning up these wires, and yeah.
Okay, well, do your thing. I'll just kind of record a little bit.
All right.
All right, so while he's doing that, basically what we had to do is, like you said, the turn signals were never hooked up, so we had to run wires for the turn signal here, get bulbs. This is just a marker light, and then the light that's in the bumper is a...
Hold on, Dad.
Turn signal light. What's up?
The spade connector is being stupid.
No, you don't
like,
give me for that.
It's like pulling all the way out.
Because you didn't probably twist the wires like I told you to crimp them.
I did.
Let's see where you at. Oh, it came off.
What the hell do I do then?
Oh, just keep pulling it. If you got to replace it, you replace it.
That's bullshit. I don't want to replace it. Fucking...
So while he's struggling with that, what else did we do? Oh, so this part I thought was kind of stupid. So the wastegate spring was a 16 psi spring. Boost cut was set at 14 psi. So we swapped the spring out, went back in with like a 10 psi spring, and then we'll probably turn it up from there on the boost controller to get us probably right around 14 psi. What else did we have to do? All right, so before I think I had to help him with that wire connector real quick. We move out of his way.
You know how Chinese plastic is.
Okay. It's Chinese plastic. All right, so back to the wastegate. So we lowered the spring. We haven't taken for a test drive. Like you said, today I noticed that when he replaced something with the battery, he never crimped the terminals. And I told him, I was like, those terminals not being crimped will cause a voltage drop to the starter, which will make it not want to start. So I crimped them up. We got the battery on the charger right now, and so hopefully that should do his thing. But we were able to start it, so it wasn't like we didn't test it. So we started up a couple times. It does start. Once you get these wiring fixed, he might take it for a little test spin. So I don't think I'm gonna go with him because it is hot.
Yeah.
And I work today, and I don't feel like standing in this heat, especially in a car with no AC.
Are you down to tune it?
No, not today.
Oh man.
Nah. I mean, you can drive it on the 10 psi, see what it does.
I'm down with that.
Yeah. I mean, you can go drive it.
Yeah, but does it need a retune, or was it only over boosting because of that?
I mean, it needs a tune. Like to me.
But was it over boosting because of that spring?
It definitely was over boosted because of the spring. Well, it had a 14 psi boost cut and it had a 16-pound spring in it.
Yeah, but I just wasn't sure if the tune was telling it to make 16 psi or the spring was.
The spring was.
Okay.
You can't go under what the spring is.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if the spring is that's your minimum boost. So if the spring is 16 psi, your minimum boost is 16 psi.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
Yes. So that's why most people, if they have a boost controller, they'll run 4 to 5 psi off the wastegate and then run everything else through the boost controller. Mm-hmm. Like on the hatch, the minimum psi on the hatch is 8 psi.
Okay.
Because it has an 8 psi spring in it.
Mm-hmm. So if I put a 10 in there, then would it be
the minimum is 10 psi?
But would I need more than pump gas?
I mean, it always needs more than pump gas.
Oh, man.
Because pump gas is 91, that's why I always mix it.
Yeah. I just don't want to spend $100 on 10 gallons of 110.
That's what it costs to go fast, son.
It does.
Trust me, you're going to do the same thing on this one.
Yeah.
We got to mix this one.
I probably was. I was thinking I probably had to, but
yeah.
We'll see. I just need enough power to drift.
Yeah. I don't know. Once we look at the fuel lines and stuff like that, we'll see what kind of line he ran, and then you might be able to run E85.
If it's, yeah, I don't even know if I want to do E85 because I don't even have really E85 out here.
I know, but you can mix it.
All right.
So you can mix it and bring the octane up with E85 if you wanted to. If you don't want to mix it with race gas.
Yeah, probably not.
But it depends on what the fuel line is.
Yeah, if it even is compatible with that.
Yeah, if it's a rubber hose, then we know it's not.
Yeah. I bet it is.
I bet it is too.
And there's raw dog in it.
Yeah. So what else do we do? Oh, so the turn signals in this thing never worked. Not only because they didn't have a bulb and it wasn't wired, but the switch was bad, so we had to fix that and then fix the hazard lights. What else did we have to do inside this thing? I would say that's pretty much it for so far. But those are the main things that we need to get done so he can be safe on the street and not worry about a cop pulling him over.
We did do the cigarette lighter. The cigarette lighter is really cool, but he
was excited about this cigarette lighter thing.
It's wired up, but it doesn't work. So I need a new actual cigarette lighter assembly. It doesn't get hot enough, but hell yeah, I got the cigarette lighter.
Your finger.
Yeah, I burned my finger, but it wasn't turning red.
Yeah, you know that younger generation ain't used to that push in and pops cigarette lighter thing, but he got to test it out, so he wired it up. But the actual thing to make it stay in there until it pops out is broken. But yeah, I think that's it for what's going on with this thing. We ain't really got to do too much. He'll get to drive it after this, and hopefully it runs smooth. I already know the tune's off. It's rich, so we gotta pull some fuel out of it. And the software in this is a little different. Way AEM works, it's not like Honda or the Holley stuff, which the fuel tables kind of coincide with. It's hard to explain like how the numbers run, but this one's like you control how the injector pulses. So that's something new I've never seen before. But software is software. I should be able to figure it out. But I think I'm gonna let him finish doing up his rapping. Oh, you gonna give a shout out?
Oh yeah, shout out my auntie. She's pretty cool. I heard I don't know. She was like, I want to see you more in the videos. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll be in the videos then. But yeah.
There you go. So, but
Auntie Kita, shout out my Auntie Kita. Just to clarify.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna let him finish up, and then I'm gonna take you guys over to the truck to kind of show you where I was sitting on that. All right. So back to the truck. She's still the same way the last time. Still got to change these plugs out. Now I will say this: I've been learning. When it comes to spark plugs on this LS. I found out I was using the wrong style plug. I guess there's projected tip and non-projected tip. I was running a non-projected tip, and I'm supposed to run a projected tip, which puts the spark plug more in the center of the combustion chamber to combust the fuel correctly. And also on that, I was gapped at 30, and I need to be gapped more like 18 to 20. So once I get a chance to get the new spark plugs in, then I'll be taking this thing for another test drive. Now, to the inside, kind of where I'm at. So I'm kind of happy with how this is going. Hopefully there's enough light in here that it comes up on the camera. But I basically got all the installation, everything done. The carpet is in. I'm messing with my wiring, so I got my ECU and everything kind of sitting there. Just kind of mocked up right now. I got to finish. Well, everything's pretty much wired. I just got to get the speaker box situated, and I'm having a problem with my back panel speakers. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get those to sit in there with the carpet, because once I put the carpet in the installation, it kind of changed the height of a lot of stuff, so it made it a little tighter. So, but I'll figure it out. But back to how my ECU sits. So these little things here, I always mount my ECU, my amps, my fuses on. Basically, they're just cutting boards. I cut them down. It's easy to screw them on, and it just looks better when you mount your stuff. So there's the ECU, the wiring that goes for it, and then all my main relays all labeled out, all the wires are labeled out, so that way if anyone ever has to come behind me, something happens to me, my son needs to figure it out, he can pay somebody to come figure this out, and they shouldn't have any problem. I need to mount my thing for the electric brakes. So I did have it mount it there, but then I realized it was in the way of the speaker, so I had to change that. And then, but the same thing that's on the cutting board, just cut to fit better. Same thing for my amp there. It's all set up on, you know, on the cutting board, set the, you know, ready to go. So I'm going to try to finish putting all this stuff back together and then get the seats and everything back in, and hopefully before this video is up, show you guys a completed interior. So I'm excited to see how it's going to sound, and if this noise, you know, canceling and heat canceling stuff really works. Because before, yeah, it echoed in here like crazy, and I can already tell the difference when I'm in here talking. That is definitely, you know, sounds better. But I haven't heard the radio in here to see how it sounds. And anybody who knows me is, I love my beat. I gotta have my beat. I'm a music person, and that's just what I like to have my bass, my highs, my lows, everything just coming together just correctly. But that is how we are sitting on the truck. And then once I get that interior stuff in, then I will mess with the spark plugs, because I'm curious to see if that fixes my breaking up issue, which I believe it's going to. You know, everyone I talked to, even hell, I even emailed you know, that was it Richard Holdner, you know, the famous guy on YouTube who does all the engine building stuff. Like, he even told me, it's like, dude, you need to gap them things down to like 18 to 20 thousandths. He said your gap is way too big. He said, and I guarantee you that's why you have that misfire. And I'm like, cool. You know, so that's where we're at. Go ahead. Alrighty, so carpet is pretty much done. Everything is all cleaned up and labeled. Speaker box is in. Side speakers are in the back. So far I only got the rear speakers hooked up. I'm gonna do the front here probably, not sure if I'm gonna get it on this video, but I am very happy with the way this thing came out. Everything looks clean. If I haven't said this before, I always love labeling all my stuff, just that way it makes it easier when you unhook anything. And yeah, everything is looking beautiful. Look at that. Oh yeah, computer and everything is all hooked up. So I think we good. My next thing is I'm gonna try to get these seats in here and get everything plugged in, and we'll see what happens. I'll give y'all a little sample. It sounds so good in here.
Used to look like brother from another mother. Now you look like my lover, and I just wanna touch you tonight.
Here we go.
I let my emotions run away with me. Yet they got me wondering so many questions, like what does it all mean?
Here we go.
I think we should have stayed homies. Should have never let you in. Now that my feelings, I really wanna go back to being just friends. All this confusion, illusion, assuming over and over again.
Oh yeah, that sound deadening stuff is working. It sounds good in here. All right, everybody, I am done. I am happy on how everything came out. I still got to do a little fixing up in this area here. The speakers are just kind of sitting there for now, but carpet and everything is looking great. This thing sounds great. Like, I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased. All right, everybody, that is a wrap on today's video. So thanks for watching. Like always, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next Adventures of Kenny. Peace.
Thank you all for watching.